Yesterday was all we had.
All right, got some more stories for y'all. These are all really good. I think so anyway. First one, rocket launch. Okay. This happened when I was 18, maybe 19. I believe it was 18. Anyway, me and a bunch of friends got the idea of, after shooting off fireworks, to go shoot some bottle rockets at a pool party. And, of course, this is around the 4th of July. And the pool party, the pool was pretty far from where we were. We were at the fence. We were as close as we could get. It was a chain link fence, so you can hold the rocket through the the holes or whatnot. And long story short, the pool was quite a far ways off. I would say it was probably at least 100 yards. We were at the tennis courts. That's where we staged. We plotted and staged there. Anyway, we're shooting fireworks. We're shooting bottle rockets, stuff like that. Just bottle rockets, though. Nothing bigger than that. We didn't want to hurt anybody. We just wanted to kind of, make a racket. Anyway, next thing we know, we're almost done. We almost run out. And here comes the head lifeguard and a bunch of guys. I would probably say there was probably eight of us, and I would say about 10 of them. So it looked like a bunch. When you're not really looking around. You're shooting bottle rockets. You're not looking around. You just see 10 guys. Oh wow! You forget about who you're with. Anyway, not a long explanation there. I know. Okay, so they come and they say, stick around. I'm like, okay. One guy took off. There were actually it was me and 3 other guys stuck around. We just did. I don't know. Maybe we felt bad that, okay, we'll see what happens. Anyway, we're talking and, it's dark. It's, I would say the sun has just set it and it's dark and we're all talking. We're just like shooting a breeze till the police get there because they call the police. And we're sitting there talking and we're just going, amongst ourselves. Really, there was 2 parties involved, but each party was talking amongst themselves. All of a sudden we hear bottle rocket takes off right in this patch of tall grass. We're going, what the hell was that about? And this guy, another, the 4th member that stayed, flashlight hits right on his face. He's like a deer in headlights. And he goes, hey, is that you? Yeah. Hey, what's up? Oh, not much. Then he takes off. He didn't get, arrested. We did. We got put down. Me and this other guy got taken down to the station, and we got out. We got out instantly. We didn't know why we were even there. I don't know if they manufactured a story. Anyway, that was a hilarious moment looking back. That was really funny. So this next story is called Cat Whack Slapstick. A long time ago, I think I was in maybe first grade, maybe 2nd grade. No, it was 1st grade. We saw this movie. It showed up. It was like about bears and stuff, nature and stuff like that, but mostly about bears. Talking about the dangers of bears and stuff like this, all this kind of stuff. And as this photographer, he was in a red station wagon. And he finds this bear. It winds up getting angry. And he gets inside the car. And the bear winds up ramming with its head the driver's side door. And it was so funny because it went wham, and then it went like that. I just thought that was hilarious as a kid. I always remember that movie. But this is really strange because it was repeated, not by a bear, but by our pet cat, Muffin. This is what happened. My dad is in his bedroom. I guess he's taking a shower, doing things. He has the bedroom door closed. I don't know what or who got into this cat, but I was like wanting to go inside talk to my dad for a moment about something. And I see Muffin just barreling down the hallway. And it was weird because he turned almost like on a dime, and he hit the door and he went, like that bear. And I laughed so hard. I thought that was so funny. Well, it didn't end there. Dad heard the pound or the whack on the door. And I heard him behind the door. He goes, "What was that?" And I'm like, "Dad, can I come in?" "Yeah, sure, come in." I come in, and by then the cat had gone away. He shook his head and then ran in the other direction down the hallway. And my dad is standing next to his dresser, and the door is a straight path to the dresser. On this side, the bed on this side, a window, a head. Muffin does the exact same thing again, but it hits my dad in the shin. He went, "Wham!" There was like a soft, pow or something like that. I guess, when you hit in the shin, whatever sound that would make from my cat head right here. And the cat goes, it takes off. And my dad's going, "What is going on here?" He was perplexed and surprised, and he's in a little pain. He goes, "It probably hurt. Getting a shin is not fun," but yeah, that was crazy. No, it was just funny. This one is called Speech Class Battery. This is in speech class. I was a junior at high school. There are 4 of us. One guy who's pretty much, he'd always really, made fun of everybody. He did. He made fun of everybody. He probably only had 1 or 2 friends, and he was pretty much, I wouldn't call him a bully so much, but it was just enough. He would say things about you. It would hurt. It would hurt. Then there's 2 other guys that I was friends with, and then me, 4 of us. And we had this class together called speech class. We covered phonetics, public speaking, all kinds of things. How to speak, correctly the English language, all that. Anyway, this is towards the closing end of the season. We're getting close to the summer, being schooled out and all that. And for about 3 or 4 days, we had around the class, people would give a speech about something or read from a book or something. They would have to get up in front of class and talk. Anyway, this is the last person. The last person speaking is some girl, redhead. She wasn't really pretty. She wasn't ugly, but she wasn't pretty. She's just plain, I guess. Anyway, she's talking about freedom in America and how we have a lot of freedoms and stuff like that. And this is so classic. This is just, I love this. This is my favorite story of all these, I think. So she starts speaking. She's talking about the freedom in America. And she turns around, and there's a record player or a tape player or something. I think it was probably a tape player. Anyway, she pushes play, and this music starts up. It's some kind of, it might have been Pomp and Circumstance, or something American and something really, the crescendo of dramatic, music starts off soft and it ended, pretty much, Anyway, you get the picture. But during it, the teacher's looking really intently and getting into it. But the 4 of us, okay, first of all, the 4 of us are just laughing right when the music started. We just start going, "Oh my God, I can't believe we're actually witnessing what we are witnessing." And the big guy, the bully or whatever you want to call him, he wasn't a bully, but anyway, I covered him. And my 2 other friends and me, we're laughing. But him, the bully, we'll call him the bully from here on out. He just starts laying into her. He's calling her names. And the other 2 guys are just laughing so hard. And I start getting into it too. And we're just jeering and mocking her just as much as and loud as we can. At one point in time, I put my finger up. I go, "Fuck you!" Right in her, just totally, just straight fucking attack on her. And she was going on. She was like, it was weird because like everybody else, I don't know, I don't know what was going on, but it was as if the rest of the class wasn't even fazed, especially the teacher. But she just kept going on, and we're just, oh man, that was one of the most glorious and most fun time I ever had in a classroom in high school. Yep. All right, this next one is called Asparagus Blast Off. I was introduced by my scientific friends, and I call them scientific because we had a mutual interest in creating and learning things that usually involve chemicals. Scientific probably wasn't the right word. It's probably more like had to do with arson. Anyway, but no, we didn't set things on fire. But yeah, more like pyromania. Anyway, there's this device. Someone learned of it somehow. I don't know who it was. I think it might have been one of two people. I think it was this other guy. All names are withheld through this video to preserve, anonymity. I don't want anybody getting in trouble, and especially learning about this stuff. Anyway, what we made from, I won't talk about how we did it, but we used calcium carbide. That's enough. And we were able to create a cannon. They created a cannon of some sort. They would launch tennis balls in the air. We didn't hurt anybody. We just shot stuff into the air. And we'd shoot tennis balls into the air. They'd make a pretty loud sound, depending on how much choke was around the tennis ball. We're getting bored with tennis balls. We're thinking, well, what else can we shoot up? Well, I don't know. And I saw this like dog chew toy. It was like an asparagus or something. And I'm like, well, let's try that. I wonder if it'll fit. Well, it fit. It's a little snug, but it fit. Probably a little tighter than a tennis ball. The girth of it, Anyway, so it's in there. And we launched it. And it went boom, and then it kind of fell. It really wasn't much of a show. And I'm like, there's got to be a way to get that thing in the air higher. So I cooked the cannon, enough information. I cooked it, put the asparagus in, cooked it more, waited about half of a minute, and I said, seal it or asparagus. Lit it, and that thing went boom. It was louder than hell. It was so loud. It was like a cannon. That thing, I swear, went at least a football field in the air. At least 100 yards, 300 feet. At least. That thing got real small. And it landed. We almost landed pretty close to where we lived. Shot it off, too. But it was just funny. It's kind of like, my friend just loved, just the chain of events. I was like, see you later, asparagus. Boom. That was pretty funny. That was looking back from him, how he laughed. Yeah, that was a good story. All right. This last story is called Sunday Sandwich Jihad. I'm in my 20s, early 20s. Discovered a church to go to. I got converted, all that stuff. Anyway, so me and a bunch of the bros, whatever you want to call it. We were just a group of guys that liked each other. We all go out. Like, man, where are we going to eat? I'm like, man, this guy goes, I don't know. Hey, look at that. That's some kind of temple or something. I'm like, well, it's not us. We didn't believe what they believed. But we're like, let's try it out anyway. Yeah, I'm into that. Yeah, let's try something. They have free food. They have food there. They have some kind of, lunch going on. It said lunch, something like that. Anyway, so we get in. It winds up being an Islamic temple of some sort. But I didn't know. I just saw, a little Arabic. I thought, oh, this is kind of cool. I've never seen this kind of architecture before. It was really pretty. It was mostly white, with some gold, but it was really pretty. It was kind of like, this is different. This is neat, Anyway, and they had some kind of sandwich. You know, you make it use lamb, half of a pita, and then some kind of ranch sauce or something. It had herbs in it. It looked like ranch with herbs in it. Anyway, I'm like, inside I'm going, I don't do ranch. I never have. I never will. Hate the stuff. Nothing like that that belongs on a salad. I am not going to eat it. No. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just put the lamb in the half a pita and eat it. So I did. And this guy is just kind of looking. One of the guys, he had like a turban on, I think. He's kind of looking with unbelief and almost shock. And man, that was good. Man, I want to try another one. Okay, so I had another sandwich, and one of the guys said, it's okay if you don't want to put that sauce, that ranch on it. I didn't know what he called it. I don't know what it was called, but I just referred to it as, I don't want that on there. He said, that's okay. But this other guy in a turban was looking with shock, belief, and it slowly turned into anger. It looked like this guy in a turban just starts talking in some kind of language I don't understand. He's going blah, 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 like that. I don't know. I'm not mocking their language. I'm just saying that's what it sounded like to me. It did. I mean, just never heard it before, really. Anyway, so I'm like, and all of us look at each other like, oh, let's get out of here. This guy is really mad. We must have offended him somehow. Let's just get out of here. We apologize. Apologize to the guy that was smiling. He said he was fine. I don't know what was going on either. But anyway, he said, it's okay. Yeah, it's all right. But this other guy in the turban, he was flipping out. Oh, he was talking loud. I would say he was yelling. Anyway, we're walking out, not swiftly, but we're just walking out. We're out of here. And we get outside. We get to our cars, pretty close to them. And we look back and we see the guy in the turban still going, yelling and at the top of his lungs. We're going, what is going on here, And this guy, he just had to be there. He goes, man, all I wanted was a sandwich. Oh my God, that was just the cherry on top. God, that was just incredible. Oh man. Yeah, I will never forget any of those stories ever. They're great. Yeah.